which product interested you most? And they may say, oh, I like that Slim. And I say, great. Well, here are the 3 price points: retail, preferred, and wholesale. Which price point do you like best? Okay? And they go, oh, I think I like the wholesale. And the next thing I say is, let me see if you qualify for that. Okay? Let me see if you qualify for that. And if they're like, well, what do you mean? I was like, well, are you wanting to buy the Slim for yourself? Or are you willing to share it with a friend or two? Because our company asks us to do $100 worth of business through our website, and so if you're going to be a member, that's what we're going to ask of you as well. And they're like, no, I think I'm just going to try the Slim for myself this month. Then great, I can give you a discount as a preferred customer. This is your business. And if people don't do $100 worth of business, guess what? You don't get pay points. Okay? So ask them which price do they like best. And when they say wholesale, you ask them, do they qualify? Because trust me, whether they choose retail, preferred, or wholesale, it's a win, win, win. Right? Not everybody needs to be an ambassador. We need to find out, because maybe next month, after they've used the Slim, they're probably going to come back and ask to be an ambassador because 3 people want to buy from them, and either I can sell to their friends or they can. It doesn't bother me. It's a win-win for me either way. Okay? But if you are letting people say, oh, I want an X factor every month, let me sign up to be an ambassador, you're taking the pay point a different direction. Okay? Everybody needs, remember, if everybody does $100, our pay point's $1.80. So we're wanting everybody to do a little bit more than that to keep the pay point up, and the way to do that is to have customers. So not everybody needs to be an ambassador. So you need to let them make that decision, retail, preferred, or wholesale. So the catalog is something that you can do. Launch parties we talked about earlier with you get a new ambassador. Selling decision packs. Helen and Sonya were masters of this. That's why they became Emerald ambassadors in 9 months. Where it took 6. Sorry. It was so fast, I don't even know what happened.
I do. You got your diamond right now.
Yeah, about the same time, yeah. So, Facebook, love and hate it. Love it because you can intrigue a lot of people. Hate it because you can stay on it all day and not get anything else done.
Yep.
And no matter what you say, me and you tonight have a connection that we may never have on Facebook. So I believe you have to be masters at all of it. And if you do your business solely on Facebook, more power to you, but eventually you will need to meet a person face to face. Team calls. If you have a team call, you want to get onto those, okay? Working local booths, referrals from customers. Oh my gosh, are y'all doing that? Get your customers to refer you people. Who do they know? It's all about who do they know. See, they know more people than you. Get out of your own box and get into everybody else's box. So, who do they know? Customers can give you lots of referrals. Advertising in local newspapers. We have ads that you can use. Now, here's what I'm going to tell you. If it costs a lot of money, don't do it. I am talking about the school directory, the basketball, whatever. You know what I'm talking about? The church bulletin. Things like that doesn't cost a lot, but you can get a lot of exposure from it, okay? In the beginning, the only help fairs I did was free ones. I never paid for anything until I became an Emerald ambassador. That was just me. And Success Guide, you all got one. You may not know what they are, but they came in that little box. Success Guide. Read it. You have a lot of really, really, really good information.
You're up next. I will go back. I will look at that. Y'all know I won't even look at that. But
Good stuff, good stuff. It's so fun to go after someone because it triggers so many thoughts. It's just how I work best. Actually, I have 2 words on a piece of paper. Can you read the first one? Or
paper I'm looking at.
that little scratch pad there. The 2 words.
Self-sabotage.
Oh yeah, self-sabotage. Okay.
Contact list.
Contact list. Yeah. All right, self-sabotage. Really, what I wanted to talk about is how, how many of you, and I'd love to know who I'm talking to, how many of you in the room, you've never been a leader a self-starter leader in anything. This is your first experience with trying to build a team. Raise your hand. So maybe a third. So maybe the other 60-70% is like me, and you try things, you're looking for something. Hope draws you to network marketing, but belief keeps you there. You know. Well, let me say this. I believe that most of us, we want this. You wouldn't be here if you didn't want this. You want this. You know what you want. You believe in the company. You believe in the products. You believe in those things. And you can go so far in Plexus, and maybe it's just your warm market. Maybe you're willing to, you can even get through your warm market. Some of you are so scared to even talk to your warm market. But I'm saying, let's say that you're able to do that much, but you get to that point where you get so far, and then your warm market's over, and you're like, oh gosh, something's wrong with the products, something's wrong with the company, something's wrong with this, something's wrong with that. My town's too small. Instead of you looking inward to look at what's holding you back from pushing through that glass barrier, until you do that, you are going to constantly, what you're going to do is you're going to jump from company to company, because the news worn off this one. It was fun when it was new and none of your friends knew what you were doing, and it was easy because you could tell everybody. They were receptive, they're your friends, it was easy. Susie told Mary at work, she told John. Then when that was over, and you had to kind of go, okay, I have to set some goals, and I have to pick up the phone and talk to someone who intimidates me. And I don't know anybody else, so I got to go out and figure out how to meet people, and I'm not good with that. Until you conquer those fears that hold you back, you are going to continue to jump around, or to get yourself out of the business completely and go back to a real job. You know, one of those where people tell you what to do all day and you get paid less than what you're worth, and they tell you when you need a vacation and when you need to pee. That kind of job. Because you're too afraid to break through that and do what you got to do. I think it's going to take, I think a lot of us, it deals with the past. You know, how were we brought up? What did we believe growing up? Did we believe in abundance mentality, or did all we ever said growing up was, and you heard our parents say, we're broke. Oh no, we can't buy all that. We can't afford that. We can't afford that. We can't afford that. If that's what you were brought up as, that's probably your thoughts. You think about it. It takes years to develop who we are. Why do we think we can join Plexus and just learn all the parts about the business and the product, but not really work on ourselves? Your thoughts are your actions. And if your thoughts are all that, every time you think, some of you go so far and things are rocking and rolling and things are great, and then all of a sudden you just stop. You just stop. And it's usually because of the fear, you're done with your warm market, or most of the time, and I did this, I had to take some classes on it in my 20s. I would self-sabotage myself. I would get so far, and I was about to explode, and I'd just freeze. I'd be like, and see, I didn't even know I was doing it. But the way I was raised, you know, I couldn't be more successful than my parents, or, you know, how could I really be that person that I think I want to be? But no, I don't deserve it. Why should I? How is it going to feel to be successful? You're going to lose some friends. I have haters. I can tell you, I got haters. There's a lot of things holding you back that you may not be aware of. And you got to dig deep. You got to find some books. You got to hang out with people who can bring you up. You got to get out of that stinking thinking. Right? You've got to work on yourself, or you're not going to break through and get to where you're going to get to. I don't care how much training you go to and you think, I'm learning a new way to do something. Oh, I got a new idea. None of it matters if you're not willing to work on yourself in order to push through the fear. Do y'all agree with that? Does that make sense? Yes. You have to be willing to work through it. All right, contact list. I want to say something about the contact list. You know, I still think to myself, oh, you know, I mean, I probably know everybody now. You know, there might be 20 or 30 people I could write down, maybe. But really, Sonya, really? You go everywhere, you see people. I really could make a list of, the nurses at the doctor I've been going to for years, the people that are at the grocery store, the people that work here that I pay a bill. There's more people than you think, your Facebook contact list. But write these people down and then don't judge the list by, oh, well, she's too busy. I'll call her last. Oh, he has a great job. He wouldn't need places. I'll call him last. You start kind of, don't we do that? We all do that. I do that. Instead, judge the list by, who on the list, and the only thing you're judging, who on the list has tried things like this, network marketing, multi-level. So they're business minded. They've always kind of looked for an opportunity. Who on that list? And go put a check mark by their name. Okay? Then the next thing you're looking at is perhaps how many of these people that they could call their friends and all their friends would listen to what they had to say just because it was them. They have credibility with their friends. Put a check mark, go back through the same list, put a check mark by all those people. Okay? So some of these people you already have 2 check marks by. Then you go through and you put a check mark. Who is a true entrepreneur? I mean, they always work for themselves. Always. They're self-starter. They're self-motivating. They're self-disciplined. Put a check mark by those people. And as you do this, then you're only judging, okay, I'm going to call the people with, this many check marks first. That's your hot list. So, and you go, they got 3 check marks. I really didn't want to call him. He's an attorney. He has a good job. What's his plan B? Can you imagine? Any of you attorneys in here? I cannot imagine. So a doctor, yeah, they make great money, but they are trading what? Time for dollars. They may not want to do that in their 50s and 60s and 70s. And, life can happen. Tragedy can happen, right? So don't be afraid. And I said this to my gynecologist of 21 years. I said, I don't know if you thought about what you're going to do when you retire, or maybe before you retire, but have you thought about a plan B? And we had a great conversation. And don't be scared. Because, see, you will bring the people to you and attract the people to you according to your boldness. If you are wimpy and you're like, I know you probably don't even need to know about what I'm about to tell you, and I almost didn't tell you because I'm kind of embarrassed about it. Because I know you make plenty of money. You would never mind. They're like, yeah, right, exactly. But if you're like, you know what? I know you're successful. Always start with a compliment. Always start with a true, sincere compliment. I know you're successful. I know you're successful. We live in the same town. You're an amazing attorney and have a great reputation. I know you're successful. However, I just want to ask you if you've ever thought about a plan B, maybe later down the road. Be bold. What is the worst thing Gail can say to me? Now, if Gail goes, no, I'm going to do this till I'm 65. Great, no problem. Can I leave you my card? This is what you say to everybody. Do you mind if I leave you my card just in case you know someone or run into someone this week? This is the best line. Because you may say, just in case you know someone who suffers with pre-diabetic, diabetic, needs to lose a little weight, or has pain. Can I leave you my card? And they go, oh, I don't know anybody. Well, then you're like, oh, okay. But can I leave you my card just in case you know someone or run into someone this week who's pre-diabetic, diabetic, struggles to lose weight, or suffers with pain? And then shut up. Shut up! That means you just stop. And you just smile. And it's a staring contest. And the first one who speaks, what? Loses. So that's just a tip on just a great thing that came to me this week on it, to add to the who do you just in case you know someone. I thought, or run into someone. Oh, right? Okay. I'm talking as fast as I can. I just want to really stress that I want you to be willing to do whatever it takes. If you find yourself, and this was me, for 20 years, still looking for that perfect storm thing, okay? I had done 4 other things. If you find that you're one of those people still looking. Oh, I to say, that better not be my phone because it's off. If you're still looking, maybe it's time to look.